in Imo State, where we're told that you could see some legal minds like you on different platforms, and I believe you must have been asked these questions also, that within the electoral system, INEC is the institution charged with the responsibility of presenting results. And if anything, there is no other institution or security apparatus that must present a result that will make the institution to accept it as valid. Now, in the case of Imo State, where what actually gave the 358 or 388 words or units that that gave those votes to Mr. Hope Uzodimma was seen to have brought by a police officer.
That is one of the issues that is trying to stain the integrity of the Supreme Court now. All right, and one of the former justices of the Supreme Court said that the justices there are human beings. They are not gods. So let's see how it rolls out. And it's a good thing that the people are challenging the justice system. You know, the institutions should serve us. So let's see how it turns out.
Okay, now let's go to Bayelsa State. What actually called the shot, or what influenced the judgment of the Supreme Court in Bayelsa State was not about who won the election, who didn't win the election. It's about the case of certificate presentation. What happened to primary democracy, primary, when you conduct a primary in the political party? Doesn't the party supposed to have the structure within the party to vet things like this?
Obviously, due diligence, corporate governance, value system is being eroded in our society, because I was curious also that through the processes of presenting, and as alleged, I think the deputy governorship candidate presented about 9 conflicting documents bearing different names. So you expected that at the primary level, the party should have dealt with that on the basis of integrity and transparency.
Yes.
Or INEC should have been able to verify. But INEC may come out to say it's not a responsibility, it's the responsibility of the party. But I recall also that at a time the INEC chairman complained that parties may be presenting criminals through the primary system. So as the umpire, theirs is to present who is presented at the polls. But now we are beginning to see consequences of actions. All right, because even the victory that was obtained as a result of that defective foundation has been lost now, which means you cannot build on nothing. And having said that, constitutionally speaking, because some may say, okay, it's the deputy governor that erred, why should the governor be affected? If you look at section 187.
Sorry, I may have to interrupt you.
Okay.
We are going to delve into that quotas, but let's still look at INEC. How can INEC exempt itself from a thing like that? How can it absolve itself from someone presenting a fake certificate or present a fake certificate, and you have been charged and saddled with the responsibility of conducting elections? There are guidelines to that effect. You cannot say you don't have such powers to vet those results and to send such persons back if they are found wanting. So all this case, what just happened could have been prevented if INEC had done its job.
Like Barack Obama said about the economic recession in America, that was a reflection of systemic failure. I think that's a systemic failure here too. You see, we make excuses for inefficiencies and we quickly find rules to back it up. I would have expected that in a functional society that perhaps the chairman of INEC should have resigned, but they will still come out to say it may not be their business. So I'm throwing the question back to you now. How did a minister get appointed without authentic NYSC discharge certificate? So there are several questions we can ask. You must have read or heard about the former DG of FIRO, who claimed to have obtained a doctorate degree or whatever,
PhD,
and never did. You see, so this is where we are now as a people. And that is why the case of Bayelsa is interesting. That for once, the court is looking at it that, no, we may not allow this to fly. But then, constitutionally speaking also, we need to upgrade. Because if you look at section 177 of the Nigerian Constitution 1999 as amended, it only requires the governorship candidate to show evidence of school leaving certificate. So why the man started presenting certificates of, you know, it's a different ballgame. And that applied in the case of our president. You know, he also was involved in this issue of certificates. The matter also got all the way to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court established that he was eligible to have contested. He has shown that he, you know, so we need to deal with the structure upon which the democracy of Nigeria is operated. And that, for me, lies basically with the legislative arm of government. The judiciary will only step in if you bring the matters to court. If PDP never went to court in Bayelsa State, the governor would have continued with his deputy governor, with their nuances and characteristics and traits. All right, so here we are now. I think we are refining our democracy. Now parties also must wake up to the reality that we must screen the candidates we put forward, because it's a huge embarrassment. But having said that, I recall, and you should also, that the chairman of APC at a time addressed the whole world, inviting politicians to come into their party, that the moment you are here, your sins are forgiven. You see, so, and that is why as public officers, public figures, we should be careful about our expressions. So I think Nigeria is maturing. A lot of issues that otherwise could have gone under the carpet
just earlier
are now finding space on the carpet.